Hey guys, this is Alfred back with another video, and in today's video I just want to talk about the new free character that we're able to receive in 2.7. So in the live stream they did mention we're able to receive a free 5-star character of our choice from the standard banner, and I'm here to give you guys my opinions on which of these characters are best suited for your account. Now obviously every single account is different, you might need different characters, so do bear in mind that my opinion alone should not be the standalone opinion you should have, but hopefully it is something that you're able to use in order to make a good decision. Like I said in all of these videos, please pick your favorite characters first. This is a gacha game. You should be picking your husbandos and waifus, but if you're here for a meta perspective, I'm here to give you guys my opinions on which of these characters you should pick up first. And lastly, before we start with this video, I would like to preface by saying that you should definitely get one of each of the standard characters in your account. It is much better to get one of each character than to just stack the eidolons on one single character. But obviously if you're a really big fan of a single character, then it's definitely okay to go for that. But meta perspective and gameplay wise, it's just not as ideal, mainly because you want to have a broad range of characters you can use for endgame content rather than just having one super good character. And with all that said, let's begin with this video. Now the first character that comes to mind that everyone should definitely have is Bronya. Bronya is rated highly in my tier list. I think she is the strongest character in the standard banner, mainly because she is Harmony, and Harmony characters can be played in many teams, and the buffs she provides are really insane. And on top of that, if you already have Bronya, you can consider her with higher eidolons. For example, Eidolon 1 Bronya is very good. Eidolon 2 Bronya is also really strong with the increased speed. So technically speaking, if you have all the characters already, it is safe for you to invest in higher Eidolon Bronyas, because the buffs that she brings with more eidolons is just very strong. And out of all the standard banner characters, Bronya is probably going to be played the most in your account. So definitely if you're looking to pick a character in the standard banner, it's definitely going to be Bronya. Next on the list I recommend is Himeko. Now the reason why I recommend Himeko is because full up attack is currently very strong in the meta, and in my opinion, if you want to build a full up attack team, you should definitely have Himeko. Although she is much better paired with Jade and Herta, who are AoE full up attack characters, Himeko can still be played in a lot of game modes, mainly the pure fiction where it's mostly AoE. However, if you're not planning to play full up attack, let's say you don't have the other essential characters for full up attack, or it's just generally not your cup of tea, I don't think you should pick Himeko. Her best increase in eidolons are going to be Eidolon 4 and Eidolon 6, which just give her a boost in damage. Other than that, she isn't really that good unless you're actually leaning towards follow up attack, which is currently the meta. So if you're planning to play follow up attack, you should definitely pick up Himeko. The next character I want to talk about is Clara. Clara is a counter full up attack DPS who mainly does damage in a blast radius rather than an AoE radius. She is an inferior version to Yunli, so if you already have Yunli, I feel like there's no reason to pull for Clara unless you want to complete your collection. Nonetheless, her best eidolons are probably Eidolon 1 and 2, where she increased the damage of her counter attack, and also Eidolon 6. So in a sense, if you want to power up your Clara, you will need a little bit more eidolons. Is she as good as Himeko? In my opinion, Himeko is slightly better, mainly because the damage is not reliant on enemies attacking you. She is physical, so her break damage is a little bit more, but nonetheless, she is a decent full up attack character. However, I do not really recommend her unless you're ready to invest a lot in her and if you're prepared to build a team around her. The next character I recommend is gonna be Bailu. Bailu is a healer, and healers itself is not really that strong in the meta right now. Generally, you want to be doing a bunch of damage, but let's say you're a newer player, getting healers is just generally very good for account for starters, mainly because of survivability issues where you don't have much damage to kill the opponent, so the fights will be a little bit longer and drawn out. So in that case, you can consider Bailu. On top of that, if you have a lot of characters already, Bailu at Eidolon 1 is not that bad. She transformed from not just a healer but to also a low-key supporter where she gives an additional energy. But other than that, just receiving one Bailu in your account will not hurt. She is of the lightning element, and a lot of enemies are prone to lightning weakness, so you can consider that as well. However, if you already have Bailu, you can consider Eidolon 1. If not, I wouldn't really touch Bailu because she isn't really that strong. Similar to Bailu, if you're not looking for a healer, let's say you prefer a tank, you can consider Gepard. These two characters are sustain characters which are needed for early and super late games, so you can consider them. Although they're not the best at their field, they are characters you should consider character for players that are starting out. For Gepard itself, he is a really decent tank. Now the only problem with Gepard is that he does not have any useful Eidolons. The only one is at Eidolon 4, which increases all allies effect rest. Other than that, I wouldn't really consider more than one copy of Gepard, but if you don't have him, you can consider him as a tank, although he is not the best, but he is out there. The next character you can consider is Welt. Welt is a really subpar DPS slash sub DPS. I don't really know what his role is in the game right now. He used to be a really decent debuff and delay DPS where you're just able to do damage mainly because the enemies cannot take turns. But now with the increased speed of enemies and the better amount of debuffing characters out there, Welt has really fallen off the meta. His only saving grace is that his Eidolon 1 is absurdly strong for a Eidolon 1, especially for a standard banner characters where all the stronger Eidolons are at the later stages. But anyhow, I digress. His Eidolon 1 is very strong and will increase his damage substantially. So if you are a Welt fan and you want to get more copies of Welt, I recommend just stopping at Eidolon 1 unless you want to go all the way to Eidolon 6. But other than that, his Eidolon 1 is very strong and is probably something you can consider, albeit I just want to say that Welt isn't as strong in the meta anymore. The last character I want to recommend is Yanqing. I just feel like Yanqing is not good at all in the meta, but I say that for a very fair reason. In my opinion, if Yanqing is not playing with a team with a strong shielder, he's gonna lose 50% of his damage. So this is why I really don't recommend Yanqing at all, especially to newer players. When I started the game, I did have Yanqing, but I feel like his damage is so inconsistent because you're going to be constantly taking damage. Unless you're able to play around like a strong shielder like Adventurin, it's going to be really hard to play Yanqing. And the only good Eidolon with Yanqing is probably his Eidolon 4, which increases his ice resistant penetration as long as your HP is higher. But even so, Yanqing is not that strong in terms of damage. Yes, in the early game, it may seem like you're able to do a lot of damage with good investment. However, you'll realize that when you get to the mid game and late game, you'll realize that his damage just really falls off. This is why I don't really recommend Yanqing at all. But if you need him to collect your collection of standard banner characters, then feel free to pick Yanqing. So overall, what are my opinions on this new event? In my opinion, it's safe to pick up Bronya and Himeko. These two characters are specifically in the meta. And if you're a newer player, you can also consider picking up a sustain character like Gepard or Bailu, and you'll be completely fine. And with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this video helps you in deciding to pick which character you want to pull for in this new free 5-star character. If you like videos like this, please do leave a like. It shows me I should do more. Comment down below who you end up choosing in the event. And finally, do subscribe. We'll be doing more videos like this in the future. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.